The short answer is no, but the long answer is yes. What show don't tell chanters neglect to mention is that sometimes telling can be showing. It all depends on how you execute it as a writer. So does everything else really. Legit Control channel is about exploring execution. Because that's what I struggle with and that's what I don't see a lot of. I see a lot of how to write a character or how to draw a character. But with all these notes and all these sketches, how do I actually portray these things in a manga, in a chapter, in a page, in a panel? As a beginner writer, I'm sure you can relate to having a story you're passionate about. And all you've done if you haven't started drawing it is plan it and talk about what is going to happen. Probably saying you'll solidify some concept when you get there. Or you'll come up with a name for this and that when you get there. And if you actually get to the beginning of your story, you're already in the 0.001% of storytellers out there. But of that 0.001%, there's an even smaller portion of writers who know the secrets to how to portray a story in a compelling manner that doesn't scream, I'm a sodding amateur. Show don't tell is a roadblock for you to get into the secret society if you take it at face value. And I am going to investigate what these pros know that we don't about show don't tell. How you package exposition is what separates you from the pros. I define exposition as new information being revealed. We hate exposition for the same reason we hate school. New information is literally more taxing on us to memorize, especially since we don't care about it. Bingo. What you need to do is make us care about the exposition. I speak about all this in this other video. But back to this video. I have 4 main characters. Bounty hunters, and I use each of them to give exposition on certain things in my manga. This is them telling, but it reveals certain traits about them based on the type of information they have. Ron's exposition tends to be about what the team's priorities are. He's the team leader whether they know it or not. My tool for making sure the reader and I are on the same page about what the team is doing. Max's exposition tends to be based on how the team is doing. He knows his friends well and he wants them to do their best, My tool to examine how each of my MCs feel, Zeus's exposition tends to be about reading an opponent. She's observant and great at reading a threat. My tool for revealing how strong an opponent is and how their ability works. And Vel's exposition tends to be based on risk assessments. Basically the guy who points out what could go wrong. My own cheat code for setting stakes. And on the other side, when they don't have this type of information, when Ron is confused about a priority, when Max is not understanding how the team feels about certain things, when Zeus can't figure out what an ability is, or when Vel can't find out what the hell the stakes are, it also reveals something about what's in front of them, Having certain information reveals certain things, but all of this is subject to change, so if you read my manga, it's not really a spoiler. If you want to tell us something, make sure something that has to do with it is happening, has happened, or will happen. And this event must reveal this piece of exposition as part of the subject of the event. That's how you show, don't tell. But how can you show by telling? What if you can't tie exposition to an event? What if we have to learn about the Death Note before we can watch Light choose it? Otherwise, we won't know what's going on. You make the reading of the Death Note into the event. Make the exposition itself the event. Like I said in that previous video, build up to the exposition or use the exposition to build up to something. Knowledge is power. You'd think kids hate power the way they hate school, but eventually we grow up and realize the value of knowledge. You as the writer have all the knowledge of your world and therefore all the power. And what's the golden rule of power? Power is for sale. Sell your knowledge to your characters. Overprice it and almost no one has it. You got a nice delusional society. Underprice it and everyone has it. The market is oversaturated, so it means nothing. Having different bits of exposition in different places and distributed in different amounts and have certain characters share certain information while we as readers watch. Make certain characters make all these investments to acquire certain bits of highly priced information that impacts the plot greatly. If you want to just exposit your exposition, ask yourself who would know it and who wouldn't know it, and why of course. And then have them exchange the information. One Piece could literally just give us bounties by having the narrator say it, but we have more fun when the Storks deliver the posters and we see the population react to Luffy's growth. Everyone is waiting for Robin to translate the poneglyphs to us since she's the only one who can read them. One Piece is brimming with a lively market of exposition. Newspapers are the cleverest way we get exposition about non-Straw Hat related events, but they only work because we know Straw Hat news goes to these places as well. And we have met all these reactors before, so we enjoy seeing their new reactions. And we also want updates on stuff about them when we don't see them. Literal exchange of exposition, making a story feel so alive by telling. Oda is literally telling, and we are eating it up. So show don't tell is not accurate at all. If you're telling shows something, whether it's a character trait or a character state or a world state, a risk factor that wasn't considered before. Speaking of not considered before, if you have two characters rehashing something they both know to each other, just so the reader knows, you might want to add some reason they would bring it up. See, no one says to their brother, "You're my brother and I love you." But you would say, "You are my brother and I love you, but I'm gonna act like I don't know you if you go in there dressed like that." The reason can also be to change or update some information. As you know, Jeet makes great videos about how to execute stories alongside making a manga series where he tries to apply what he learns. Yeah? Well, he's also got a Patreon where you can support his cause for $1 per month and even have him read or review your manga. No way! The key takeaway here is you can actually tell as long as you have a reason for your telling. As long as the person who is saying certain things would have this information and the person they are telling the information doesn't. And use telling to reveal certain traits. Don't listen to show don't tell. Just don't be lazy about telling. Do yourself a favor and go watch this video where I babble about exposition and how to make us care about it.